1 Samuel chapter 30. Then David and the people who were with him raised their voices and wept, until they had no more strength to weep. Some of you did everything right, and still came home to ashes. It looks like this. You were gone doing the obedient thing, the long shift, the hard yes, the assignment nobody else wanted. And the obedience did not stop the raid. You remember the exact spot where you were standing when you found out, the tile under your feet, the phone still warm in your hand, the strange, useless clarity of noticing the dishes were not done. The body keeps doing small things while the life comes down around it. The savings, the marriage, the health, the years. You stood in the middle of your own life, the way a man stands in a burned house, recognizing the doorways, recognizing nothing else. David knew that ground, 3 days of marching. He comes over the last hill expecting the lights of home, and finds smoke. Ziklag is ash, the walls are black, the families are gone. Everything he built while he was busy obeying has been carried off by men who built none of it. Then the text records the detail that makes this story yours. David was greatly distressed, for the people spoke of stoning him. The men he fed in the wilderness, the ones he bled beside, they looked at the ashes. Then they looked at him. Loss is heavy, but loss with every eye in the room deciding you are the reason. That is the weight that puts kings on the ground. The next line is one of the loneliest in the entire Bible. But David strengthened himself in the Lord his God. No prophet arrived. Samuel was already in the grave. His family was in chains on some horizon. His army was weighing stones in their hands. Heaven sent no one. Because heaven was watching him use the one skill the wilderness had been building all those years. Encouragement that has to be carried to you is borrowed strength. It runs out when the visitors leave. But a strength exists that is only found in an empty room, when the waiting ends and the reaching begins. The wilderness had been the classroom, the cave years, the nights spelling out his innocence to no one, the seasons of being anointed and hunted in the same body. All of it was teaching his hands where the well was, so that on the worst morning of his life he could find the water in the dark. David did not wait for a feeling. He reached backward and said the record out loud. The lion that did not win, the bear that did not win, the giant lying face down in a valley with 2 armies watching. He reminded his own soul who his God had already been, until his soul stood up. The oil Samuel poured on his head as a boy was never for a palace. It was for this hour, in these ashes. Then David does something the devastated rarely do. He asks, "Shall I pursue?" And God does not hand him a blanket. Not every loss answers to this word, but to this one, he gives a soldier's answer. Pursue, for you shall surely overtake them, and without fail, recover all. Heaven's response to devastation was a direction. Because the enemy did not burn your future, he's carrying it. It is moving away from you at this hour, and every day spent at the fire, counting the losses again, the distance grows. And watch what God does with the chase. David has no map. The raiders left no trail worth following. 400 exhausted men running toward a horizon. Then they find a man collapsed in a field, an Egyptian slave, half dead, abandoned 3 days earlier, thrown away by the Amalekites the moment he got sick and stopped being useful. David's men give him bread, they give him water, and the man the enemy discarded lifts his hand and points to the camp. The enemy's cruelty became the map. The same hands that burned your city have a habit of leaving evidence in the field. What they throw away, God picks up and uses to find them. This word is for what was stolen. It is not for what was buried. Some losses are graves, and at a grave, God does not give marching orders. He sits in the dirt and weeps beside you, and no one gets to rush that ground. And somewhere in you, if you sit quietly enough, you already sense which one this is. And over the stolen thing, the command has a promise welded to it. Overtake, recover all. The last word is not a percentage. So here is the word for the one still sitting in the smoke. Get up. The weeping was real. You wept until the weeping ran out of strength, and so did David. The text is not embarrassed by it, but the weeping was a chapter. It was never the address. The enemy is counting on you, staying at the fire, replaying the arrival, holding trial again over things he already took. He is not afraid of your tears, he is afraid of your feet. And if all you have left is a limp, bring the limp. 200 of David's men could not cross the brook at Bezor. Their legs simply ended. They stayed at the water with the baggage. And when it was finished, David stood in front of the ones who wanted to cut them out of the recovery and made it a statute in Israel. The ones who collapsed at the brook received back everything too. Your exhaustion does not cancel the promise. It only changes your position in the column. The oil is still on your head. The record is still true. The God of the lion and the bear has not changed his mind about you. So say the record out loud if you have to. Strengthen yourself in the Lord your God. Then look at the horizon where they carried your life away. 2 days from now, in a camp you cannot see yet, everything that was taken is sitting in enemy hands, still marked with your name. He did not say wait. He did not say maybe. He said pursue. Go get it back.
I came over over the hill expecting home, and found the smoke instead. I wept until the weeping lost its strength, and the stones were in their hands. No prophet came, no friend arrived. The room was ash and air, so I reached for you the way you taught me, in the wilderness of prayer. You said pursue, so I am standing. You said overtake, so I will run. You said recover, recover all, and your word does not return to you empty. I will recover all. I will recover all. What is marked with my name is coming home. I said the record to my soul tonight, the lion and the bear, the giant face down in the valley, with your answer in the air. The fire took the walls from me, but the fire has no hands. What was carried off is coming back across the burning sands. You said pursue, so I am standing. You said overtake, so I will run. You said recover, recover all, and your word does not return to you empty. I will recover all. I will recover all. What is marked with my name is coming home. Some of us fell at the water, too tired to cross the stream. And even the ones who stayed at the brook got everything back. The ashes were a chapter, they were never the address. I strengthened myself in the Lord. I stood up out of the ashes,